Hi, good to have you here. So I get lots of questions from young wives and mothers about how to juggle career and family. Well, what better way to answer these questions than to bring you wives that have made it to the top? They'll be sharing their experiences, some lessons, some tips and tricks, maybe even some regrets. If you're new here, my name is Lisa Kusiima, and all through March, I'm excited to bring you Wives in Power. This video is brought to you by Bisa Styles. Bisa is a wardrobe stylist that helps bring your style vision to life. She has a shop that has amazing products from corporate blazers, suits, dresses, shirts, and so much more. What I really love about Bisa is that she offers other services from personal shopping, commercial styling, photo shoot styling, and so much more. You want to check her out on Bisa Styles on Instagram or at Bisa Styles shop. Try it out for yourself. She will elevate your wardrobe. Hey guys, I'm excited to introduce this wife in power. Yeah, she has so much information to give us. Pamela, welcome to the channel.
Thank you, Lisa.
Yeah, she's going to introduce herself, tell us more about you. What do you do? Are you married? Do you have children? We want to hear it all.
Yeah. You know, I watch your YouTube, but I'm Pamela Tumwebaze. Tumwebaze is the name I took on when I got married. So yeah, I am married. I am a mother of 4 biological children, but mentoring and raising others in my sphere of influence. I am a scientist and professional accountant. I have been in the accounting field for the last 20 years. So don't start counting my age.
Please don't count.
Yeah, so for more than 20 years, and I've been in all different roles from accounting, management. I'm currently into compliance. I work with one of the UN agencies and compliance, and I also do risk management in the organization. Yeah.
Wow. But you didn't tell us, how many years are you married?
Oh, I'm in my 26th year of marriage now.
These are goals, yeah, 26 years. Wow, that's amazing to hear. So you say you work with one of the UN agencies, you know. You guys, I don't know about you, but for me, that's a goal. It's a goal. And I just want to hear from you. How did you get there? Because I get lots of questions from women and wives who say they're trying to, you know, work on their career, but then they have a family. How do they reach there? So just briefly tell us your journey.
Okay, one, the saying that Rome was not built in a day, or you know that when you want to eat an elephant, you start bite by bite because it can be big and overwhelming. So likewise, the career journey is not something like you wake up and you get into. There are things that you have to know. And for over time, there are things I am a learner, and I've chosen to learn for life. Yeah. So there are things that you have to learn, then unlearn, and relearn.
True.
So like and like when I tell you, like, I've been in accounting, I've been in management, I'm now into compliance. See, you don't stick in one place, because also the only constant thing in the world is change. Yeah. And you have to be ready to change with the time, reinvent yourself over and over again. But also on the side, you have to have grit. I know you must know about grit. Yeah. You have to put in the hard work. You have to prioritize the delayed gratification. There are things you want, but you can't have everything. You can't have your cake and eat it
at the same time.
So if the things I have had to do to know. So what for me has been comfort is know that life has seasons, and to understand which season am I in
right now.
Yes. And then what do I need to do right now to utilize and maximize the season that I am in. because also the seasons keep changing.
That's
When
true.
it's harvest time, if you didn't plant, you will not have nothing to harvest. Yeah.
Okay. So she's telling us about season. I really love seasons because I've shared this on my channel before. For me personally, I realized that this career thing, I may need to first put a hold on it, while I look after maybe children and things like that. And I just want to bring it back to you when you talk about seasons. What seasons did you go through and how did you, manage it? You have the children. How did you juggle all that?
Yeah. Well, like every one of us, when we are getting married, it's not like it's a straight road. It's not you go, you read it in a book, or there is practice. You get there and married, you're doing marriage, and you're discovering things, and children come, and you have to raise these children, and then you also went to school, to have purpose, or also build and be an influence on to the society. So all these have to come to balance. But when I talk about season, there are things I couldn't do when my children were younger. Like I got married, I had these children, they were young. So one of the things I can point out is that I went for my master's maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
Wow.
When my kids were already at uni, so we were studying together.
Just 4 years ago.
Exactly. But in between, definitely, like I said, as a scientist, and I turned into accountant, I changed career. And so by doing SCCA, so I'm a fellow of SCCA and then also CPA Uganda. And at that time, the kids were little, but it's not when they were in nursery school. So like when we'd pick and we're doing homework, we're all doing homework
Together.
Together.
Yeah.
So for me, learning while the kids are also learning has been an added value in that they have seen the importance of education.
Yeah.
And mommy also can read, mommy also has homework, mommy
Yeah.
also goes to class, and mommy sits exams, and mommy passes. So
I really like that.
it's been a practical thing. They say I love reading. They're like, mommy is a bookworm, you're always looking forward to read. Always
And they will emulate that
Yeah,
as
but
well.
for me, I think that is leading by example and being relevant to them in their lives. So when they were younger, I was able to be there. And then also get a support structure. Like with drop and pick at school, and you also have work. I got a friend. I got friends where I could drop all the kids in the morning, and then they would pick in the evening. So getting such support structures to help, because at work when you have to deliver, you can't be the one who, comes in either maybe at 8 because there's traffic, and be the one who leaves at 4 because you have to pick the kids. Yet also you can't be the one who leaves at 7 because you pay fines every day. And so it is, you have to get a support structure or see what works. At one time, I had a friend who was doing it, but other times my husband has been able to drop in the morning. I do the morning runs, and he does the evening. And that's also the time when I'm in school, because evening from work, you're running to school. That's true. And then you're not there, but he is able to pick them, come home, ensure at least there's daddy presence at home.
So if like working in a team.
Yes.
And I also like when you mentioned that you just did your master's, a few years ago. There are lots of people who are on pressure. You finish, no, I have to do master's right now. And then, maybe you're leaving the children. And then, so I like that for you, in your experience, you prioritized that at the beginning. And then you realized that you could do the master's at a later date. And you will still manage to even climb the ladder career-wise. Yeah. And also when you mention the teamwork with the husband, but this is all with children. What about with your husband as well? As we're trying to climb that career ladder, sometimes we forget our husbands, our marriages, because you see, like the children, you will find all possible ways to make them, comfortable and do this. But what about our marriages?
Well, I think I am in the transition. Like I said, I've been in accounting around 20 years. That tells you where I fall in. And so I am between the ancient and modern PO Box generation and .com. So we are the bridging gap there. So there are basic things that that for me worked for me. And one was, well, I'm a member of Mothers Union. And in Mothers Union, of course, also some people think you have to first be a mother. But I joined when I was 5 months into my marriage, and it's been a support structure. In there, I was able to get experienced ladies who are managers in banks, lawyers. We have people who've risen up the career. And like, I mean, if you want to be an eagle, fly with the eagles, not with the chicken.
Please, that's very key.
So in Mothers Union, there were lots of role models. And from there, I could see how they were busy rising up in the banks and then also raising their children and families. So they were a great guide. But also, I came across a book called Motherwise, which was talking about priorities in a woman's life. And that has kind of sorted me for life. Because one, first priority, my relationship with God. Your relationship with God. Issues of trusting and obeying God. Because God will be the one who will tell you, here, you need to shut up. Here, you're in the wrong. You need to apologize. Here, this is not how I teach you about parenting. And so, prioritizing, knowing your relationship with God. So for me, that is very key. Making sure I just have my space with Him. He's my Abba, He's my daddy, He's the one I go to for wisdom every morning and saying, this is the day, I have meetings, Lord, I don't know, this
Help
is a
me.
difficult part. How do I bridge over this? The books, Father, exams are coming, I have these work schedules. And you know, He's seen me lips. And then next is priorities, my husband.
That one I have to clap because children, not yet.
No. In your vows, in my vows, we notice, even in your vows, there were no vow about children. There's no vow about children. The mistake we keep making is, my children, my children. Children are a gift from God. And God has given us these children as stewards. At the end, He will hold you accountable. But the biggest role or influence on a child's life is your relationship with their father. If that relationship is not stable, it affects. Children are monkey see, monkey do. It's not what you say. It's monkeys. It's a lot about what you do. You walk the talk. So, if marriage, your relationship is not settled, there are foundational issues you've not dealt with, they affect the children. So it's the easier fix is work on the marriage, and then the children already provide that a nurturing and enabling environment. Otherwise, you'll put much more work in the children, running after them. And guess what? By 25, 26, they are leaving home. Then what happens to the rest of your life?
You don't know each other. You're with someone you don't know him.
Exactly. And also, when of course you have challenges and you're not having a stable home, it flows into your workspace. Into your workspace. I believe for me, marriage has been the first place of learning about leadership, about learning teamwork, about learning being a team player, about learning how to, work in a team. That by the time I get to the workplace, there are lessons you have picked up.
So, what practical ways did you ensure that your marriage you are not abandoning it and focusing either on career or only on parenting?
Like I said, I had Mothers Union, and in there it's about promoting family life and especially raising children in a Christian background. So that supports us because you also have the husbands coming in. We also had marrieds. Young marrieds, and where we met friends and couples. In there, we're able to also build a network of friends that we do life together and hold each other accountable. And in there, we've been able to do lots of marriage enrichment, but also do some rituals like date night, so that we keep in touch. And so it's so interesting that date night doesn't necessarily mean going to the restaurant. Sometimes we sit here in the compound in the evening, and the kids will be like, oh, today is what's that? Date night. Okay. And when the kids were younger, the younger ones, they would choose to be the chef. So they would see what's on the menu there for dinner, and then they write on pieces of paper and they come and, act as chef. So this evening we have this and this, and they would set out, and then we would tip them. So making it interesting, but also being around. Other times we're just in our room and the kid, no, what is happening? And we're sitting on the bed chatting, said, oh, it's date night. Yeah. Do you want us to bring us something? So also that constant communication, making sure that you understand that. For me, it's been understanding the season that my husband is in and knowing what role I need to play for him. Sometimes he needs a confidant, other times he needs a friend, other times he needs a lover, and other times he needs a partner. So in which one? You get it? Yeah, to understand what's going on. And so by daily talking, chatting, we have a ritual where at the end of the day we do a cup of tea, and that is just to help us like wind down the day, and just talk how the day was, and that kind of helps us to kind of touch base, or even talk about, oh, tomorrow I'm going to do this. And that has helped me keep in touch.
I really like that, because when you have this system working, even in the career, at the job, you're excelling because things are okay, you're in a good place and things like that. So prioritizing the marriage is really key. I really like that. Now, I want us to talk about the support system with, let's say, your spouse, because many people come and say, but like, if I make it to these higher positions, maybe he will feel threatened. What causes that? Is there a way, maybe some tips you can share with us? Maybe we're doing something wrong. Maybe, please let us know.
When we get into marriage, knowing that marriage is a partnership, not a competition, that goes a long way. Sometimes with the feminine movement, they've made it look like we are fighting. But when your husband is comfortable, that you're not fighting him, that you're part of him, that you're building. Like for us, we worked at having a family vision. What do we want to do? What do we want to see? What do we want the Tumwebaze brand to look like? And well, I've taken on Tumwebaze name and I carry it proudly. Some people don't even know my married name. And I think even just that basic thing already gives you the sense of willingness of working at it as a team. And then also knowing what his vision is and supporting him. So for me, we've gone to school at different times, or we agreed we'd go to school at different times. He's also an accountant and a professional one at that, also scientist and accountant. And so we've gone to school at different times. The times while I was doing my SCCA, he was teaching some of the papers. He was like, let me teach just, and he was my teacher. And for some I paid at school, and others he always helped me up. So in that role, and because we were looking at it as an investment, where he sees, there are so many things that the world has taught us wrong. Another key area is this thing of women saying, kazi. And I'm like, really, if you can, bluntly saying, if you can open up your legs every night to this man,
how much more?
What more? And if you are saying this is mine and he has, this is his, if you have 1,000 Lisa and I have 1,000, bread is 1,200, both of us will sleep empty, we'll sleep hungry.
Guys, have you got that point?
But if we put it together, you
have now 2,000.
And so some of the issues are that need to be addressed, because we will not negate the fact that some women have had wrong role models as they were growing up, from the way their fathers behaved or believed in that, and therefore they have a wrong perception of men. But sometimes it's unfair to get your father's issues or the men in your life as you're growing up, their issues, and superimpose them on your husband. Because with that warped sense, you come with a lack of trust, And you cannot build teamwork without trust.
Yeah.
Because you have to believe you're all watching each other's back. So for me, that in that role, and because once we know we are a team and it is team effort, we're able to work
We're
together.
all benefiting
We're
from
both
this.
benefiting. If you made ED and the money is coming, it is for the family.
That's all.
It's for us.
Not hiding.
Exactly.
Those are the issues. What about, you know, there are ladies, now you've become ED, you've become risk manager, and then now you don't want to listen, or you don't want, you know, at home. Please.
Remember priorities.
Yeah.
God, spouse, children. Fourth priority is job, because I have to give Caesar what belongs to Caesar. And 5, ministry. I mean, does my job, that's not my identity. So I have work, it's the 8 to 5. And after 5, I have a life.
Yes.
I have a life as a mother. I have a life as a wife.
I
have a life as a friend, as a sister, you know, and all that. I have, in our buddy group, you know, someone saying, my friend of more than 24 hours, because they can't see how, hey, you're here, I tell you you're here. No, I think when we let, we identify ourselves by just one role, which is a little part of your life, you get crushed. That if you lose your job, like in COVID, then you no longer know who you are. You have no identity.
And your worth, you feel
and
like
what exactly. Yeah. So for me, it's that prioritizing that has made it. At the end of the day, I come home to be Mrs. Tumwebaze. I come home to be the mother of these children whom God has asked me to steward, whom I have to give accountability for. And when I'm at work 8 to 5, I give Caesar what belongs to him. I put in excellency, because God, the God I serve, calls me to excellence.
And we're working for him.
Yes, for him and not for man. So by the time man is seeing, for me, end of the day, I've already checked with God. Of like, today, God, I really did not do worth the pay that I am making. And I push myself because I know I have my target, and I really work at that, so that I am a faithful steward, and at the workplace, I'll represent God in that place.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really amazing. So knowing what you know now, because you're where you are now, maybe there may be some mistakes that you made, and you want to share with us, the young wives and mothers, that, this one, I blundered a bit here, or maybe I learned this. What could that be? So that we don't make the same mistakes.
Having had that support, like I told you, I joined Mothers Union 6 months after my marriage, and that helped. I was able to learn from so many different speakers, so I didn't really have to go through learning from experienced mistakes. So it's not really been that. I wouldn't say I would rewrite or change anything, because amazingly, God set my plan before. Before even time was born, and it's working out. But definitely, as we've been going through life with the life partners, the couples we're doing with life, we've been doing we do some books, continuous reading, so and developing, and we've done some books on parenting, courageous parenting. I think I would have been more of a ministering parent than and in a ministering parent is where you're looking at, you know, there's a thin line between punishment and discipline.
Tell us.
Punishment is making you pay for the wrong you have done.
That's punishment.
Yes. Discipline is making you face the consequences of your actions to help you correct, and you're building character.
Right.
So, you know, we were raised up with the chiboko very fast.
My friends.
Before you even know what you're being, you just lie down, you beat. And I learned that, you know, sometimes kids get to a point and you're only beating the flesh. You have not touched the heart.
It's a heart issue.
The heart issue. So shepherding your child's heart. And that comes from being a ministering parent. Going in the feet, like putting yourself in this child's feet and at the level. You know, many times we are hard on our children, and it's good to be hard on them because you want what is best for them. But sometimes, you know, like I'll be thinking, I have learned to say, my child is like 14. I am pushing them for this. When I was 14, what was I doing? How was I thinking? You know? So in that way, you're able to give grace. You're able to minister. You're able to, they're able to feel you walk in their feet and come alongside with them in life. Wow. Vis-a-vis you being an enemy to progress, or someone they should hide things from, or someone like the world who is out to beat them. Yeah. But being that ministering where even when I make mistakes, I can go back and explain. There may be consequences, but we will figure it out, and it is helping me that even when there are consequences to the discipline, it is not taken as a punishment, but it is a learning lesson. Yeah.
Wow.
So in that area, but thankfully is also learning about the children's temperament and handling each one, differently, because what works for one, so you come up with each one's personal improvement plan. Is helpful.
Personal improvement plan for your child. Guys, are you hearing? Wow.
Yeah, because each one is, so you're building, and there's a book I read, they were much older, but I still practice it. But if I had learnt it even when they were younger, it's something I would have done. Drawing circles around your children in prayer and praying scripture over them. So it's something that I started doing when they were maybe I've done it for the last maybe 10 years. So if I'd done it at 10 years, that means that my older two were now teenagers. So if I had been praying over them, over their lives, there would be certain issues. They've not been bad teenagers, but also the prayer support. Because even as I've done it and seen, there are times they will get the journals and we'll spend an evening and we're reading about the prayers I was praying for them when they're going through certain things. Wow. It kind of gives them the warmth and knowing that I have been supporting and walking them in prayer. And also that prayer support also helps us, like if they are dealing with an issue, yes, mommy is praying with me, but these are the things she's praying into my life. So I also need to be working onto them. Yes, you know? Yeah. So we are working as a team onto getting to that God has.
Wow, thank you so much. What struggles did you face as you're trying to juggle this career and home? There must have been some struggles in there that are just, what they call it, enemies of progress. They're not allowing you, just what are those struggles that you face?
One is what the world says, of one, to get to the top. You see, sometimes you want to get the top, you want the money now. And for something that is going to last, it's hard work that gets over time. So there's the quick fixes, which hide a shoddy job. And where your friends are moving faster and yes, they're going to school and you can feel like, hey,
for me, I'm behind.
But others, yes, they went for career first, and so you're busy in babies. Others are going up, they are flying, they are
traveling
up there, and you can feel like, hey,
did I make
a right decision? And when you're there, it can feel a wrong decision, but then you can feel you're missing out. Yes. You're missing out. But what I have seen is that the world is round. Even when you fly, you come back home. And different seasons. So understanding my season, understanding why I did a detour, you get it, a detour, while others went straight, and knowing that I'm running the race for me, as me. I am a totally complete brand. There's no duplicate like me, and I can't live life like the others. Definitely also getting self-aware of who I am and what works for me, and positioning myself or doing the things that bring out my excellence. So like in a job, I'll tell you, in a job, it's not the pay first.
Guys, please.
It's not the pay first that I look in a job. One is the learning experience. Am I learning? Am I learning? Because it builds my portfolio. It builds me. I'm a learner, and that's who I am. I'm an adventurer, I'm an explorer. I like doing new things. So the monotony of come push paper will not work for me, and I can't thrive in such a job. So the learning opportunities, they stir my brain, they stir my passion, and that brings the energy I bring to work. 2, the networks that I make.
Networks. Don't just rush to pay.
Your social capital, your networks that you make there, because then you start interacting with different people who sharpen you, like iron sharpens iron. Like we said, egos fly with egos. So the networks that you're going to make, not for what they bring to you, but even just discussion points, they will stir your mind up and build you up. And then 3rd is the pay. 3rd is the pay.
Yeah, 3rd.
Yeah, because also, how much is enough?
That's a very important question, because sometimes you feel like, if I just get 1 million more, another million, more dollars.
Yeah, you get to 10M, you get, you have
now
then
you want
20,
50.
and then, you know, it is what, and well, because I'm an accountant by profession, it helps me. I do a lot of financial literacy. It's not how much you earn, how you save, how you plan, that help you get to financial freedom. So there's this game called cash flow that we like playing.
About cash flow.
Yeah, we like playing with the kids, and it's getting out of the rat race. You discover that if you're like pick up and you're a pilot, you earn more, but your expenses are more because you have a bigger car, you have bigger bills, and
bigger
so
house,
on. Bigger house. And a janitor or a cleaner has little money, but their expenses are also low. So every time they pass go. So a financial independence is when your passive income, meaning money that continues working even while you're sleeping, can be able to cover your bills. Then, I mean, you don't need to work. You get it.
That's the goal, guys.
So, if you're at the level of a pilot, you need much more. If you have a mansion, you need to pay the swimming pool maintenance, the chef,
increases,
the car for the security lights, and the hosting bill, because that is the, you know, the sphere of influence you're working in. If you are the janitor, is one room and a small fits in, so they're able to get out and be more happy in life. So it's not how much you earn in life that actually works. So that's why money is number 3.
I like that. I really love that. And as we get to conclude, we were speaking earlier, and you mentioned something. I don't know if you want to share it here, about something you had to let go of, a position, a job. You can just tell them if you'd want to mention it.
So, you have to understand the seasons in life. And let me tell you, out there are jobs, but it's the opportunity cost. What are you willing to let go? And I was telling Lisa that, man, there are times that there's an opportunity to work in Europe, and the job fit the specs. At job, the career coach actually looked at the CV, and we went through the session, and I filled the profile well, and they even said, you know, when they shortlist you, we will even do a pre-mock run for the interview. But then when I sat back with my husband, we're looking, what's this job going to bring? And where are we at? Where are our children? What kind of support do they need? Is it a part whereby, because if we get this job and he also has to move with me, what happens to the things we are doing back home? They get to be at a stop. And then to the older kids who are already now settling in, you know, getting into the work and settling here, and you are there. What kind of support are we? And we just agreed and said, you know what? And then, of course, the cost of living there. And you're making this much, but how much is going up? And then if he stays here, how much you have to keep running back and forth, costs in tickets and all. You know, at the end, was it worth it? You know, is it worth it? And you're there, you're hustling, you have no support system. Here, you know, you have to run or call a friend or this and this, and they're able to help you out. So I let it go. And, you know, and when even the 4 people, when, you know, they're asking deadline,
How far?
and I said, you know, I did submit, they were kind of so disappointed, you know, and I was like, you know, it's not the right time to leave my husband and the kids. Like, what?
Your husband?
Man,
You leave
you leave, you have failed this opportunity, international. And I'm like, you know what? No one understands it. But, you know, you have to let go of certain things because I am happy. I know the younger one is 16. They just need a few years to finish university and they'll be settled. And these jobs will always be there. If they want you, they will get you.
I love that.
And because of that, we can be able, he's retired, but we'll be more settled. We can fly and enjoy life as Febabidi. Ngabana have all settled in. Have settled and they're running their lives.
Yeah.
And you're still able to do the work and able to have your family. And it still works out. So,
and I really love that. Don't kupapa. I love what she's saying because when she was looking at that position, she came back to the family, and you're trying to see how does this fit into our vision, because you talked about vision. You guys have a vision as a Tumwebaze. You have where you want to go. Does it align? So if you don't have a vision, that's how you just go for wind. And this job comes
and it's for 2 years only.
2 years,
then you leave this
back.
one. Then you have no job in between. Then you're, you know.
And I love that you chose, you know, when you mentioned that when people are asking you, how come you left that? How come you didn't, you know, go through with it? And like, no, my husband. You guys, I just want to make it clear that it's okay to choose your husband.
Yes. And I would choose him any day.
Wow. I just want to clap for that. Oh my God. It's okay to choose your husband. This has been such an enlightening conversation. I love that you've shared with us. Any last parting shots, you know, to the wives, to the mothers? What do you have to tell them?
Yes. Well, we have husbands, but we also need to be a wife. And you have children you're bringing up. And you have to be on top of your A game. And you can't be a jack of all trades. So you have to get, what do you call them? You like nits and nuts, hacks.
Tips and tricks, hacks.
That help you along. Well, apart from having a support system, I like in the home. Let's go to the kitchen.
Yeah.
You know, if you're at work and you come home, hey, what are we eating? You're asking who? The helper? Yet you're the one supposed to eat. You know?
Shots fired.
You cook whatever is in the fridge, and so it means you eat beans. You know?
There's no planning.
No planning. But have your meal plan. Sit down. You know what each of your children like. You know what your husband likes. Set it up. Let them have each a day, at least when they have their special meal. Have a special meal. And put it on the wall. One, it helps you with your financial planning in that you know what to buy. You're not wasting the money.
Yeah.
You are sure of what you're going to eat. Even when you're at work, you pull out of the computer. You know when, okay, this meal, maybe my house manager doesn't know how to do it as well. I may need to go early
today.
A little touch up. Or this one. Or because a friend may call and say, oh, we are coming. You already know what is basic. And you have a few things there and there. So you can easily spice it up. So that you're still a good host. You're still present as a mother in the home and as a wife. Surprisingly, I did a job description for the house manager. You know?
Wow.
Because it's very key to set objectives. They need to understand the reporting structure. They need to understand what their deliverables are. We have in their room where they stay, they have their work plan of the day.
Guys, I'm hearing.
Their work plan to know, okay, Monday will be the day for deep cleaning. Because weekend we have been hosting and so on. So we'll be cleaning the sitting room and then we're really doing a deep cleaning. Tuesday is laundry day. You know, Wednesday is ironing day. Thursday is this day. And we've been able to, from all the there are lots of information out there. And there's the hot edition. Home organization tool that I was able to purchase and go through a whole month with Helga and
Manuela. Is the down of Manuela?
Manuela and Helga. And that kind of helps around in keeping order in your home. Because at the end of the day, yes, you need to be a good at work, but you can't be good at work when you start disorganized. Like in the morning, you didn't know where the shoes were, where the socks were, you know where the laptop was, or the food poured on the laptop, you know. It makes you disorganized and you can't be able to deliver. But then everything is in its place. And well, I have one thing. I have I got a planner. I have a planner.
Nice. Looks so
for
nice.
Making it work, and it's so it's diverse with habits tracking things in that way you don't forget things. You schedule what you have to do, and in that way you remain on top. You can't trust this brain.
We forget.
And so having things that help you keep remembering, you know, it kind of helps you out a lot. We have a place where we write our weekly shopping. As you go through your house, you see things that need to be fixed. Write them down so that you have a budget and you don't do random shopping. That's how we fail to manage. You know,
Yeah,
have
that's
your
so true.
budgets, and as you jot down, you keep prioritizing things.
Wow.
Yeah. So
you
I hope
guys.
that's helpful.
You guys, we have learned about prioritization. We have learned that it's okay to choose your husband. We have learned that God is at the center of everything. Schedules, have a plan. There's vision for your family. Guys, the gems have been so many. Thank you, Pamela, for being here. I hope you guys have learned something because, hey, I learned a lot. My name is Lisa Kusiima, and as always, I'm here to inspire.